when I'm guiding, there are 20 to 30 stands, tree stands, shooting houses, ground blinds, all of that up there at the ranch that I guide at. And when I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to set guys, I need to know what the winds are doing, not just in the morning, but throughout the time that they're going to be sitting. And I have to plan for wind changes. So it's a really good tool to use both for aviation purposes, but I've since started using it for hunting reasons. And it also give you a really good forecast for a 24-hour period. A very good forecast. It will hands down beat the weather that you're used to getting from the Weather Channel or from your local news broadcast, because it's so localized. So I'm going to go through that real quick and show you how you get that weather, where you go. Now it's an in-depth process, but it's worth it. And I think once you see it done, I think that you'll start doing it too. So without further ado, here's Aviation Weather 101.
All right, guys. First thing you have to do, go to Google or Yahoo or whatever one you use, Bing, whatever, and whatever your closest airport is. Let's say your closest airport is Chicago O'Hare, and if there's a regional airport, then use that. Say I'm down here in Alabama right now, so I could use Troy Municipal Airport, and that's a tiny little airport. So I could say Troy, Alabama airport code. You could use code, but the proper term is ICAO identifier.
You'll see right here on the top one, it says KTOI. That is the ICAO identifier for Troy Municipal Airport.
So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to www.aviationweather.gov.
And here's the website that it brings me to. Got that map right there. Over there on the left, it'll say METAR.
I want you to click METAR. It'll give you a bar here. I want you to hit request form.
Now over on the right hand side, there's a little map of the United States on this page. Over here on the right side,
we're going to be using Troy, so KTOI. You want to click the translated box. You want to click METAR and TAF and click submit.
Alright.
Troy, Alabama Municipal Airport, temperature is 47 degrees Fahrenheit. The dew point is 30 degrees Fahrenheit. Altimeter is 30.42. Winds are east-northeast at a 070 at 10 mile an hour. You got 10 miles of visibility, ceiling, cloud clearance, and any kind of weather, you're going to get any weather or anything like that. The important thing to note though is these times are going to be in Zulu time or Greenwich Mean Time, UTC, however you want to word that, but Central Time, which is what we're here in Alabama, and I was also when I lived in Illinois, is -6 during daylight savings. Regular, it's -5. So you're going to have to figure out what you are in Greenwich Mean Time. But Zulu time is a pretty important factor within the military. We use Zulu time more than we do local time for the most part. But what this allows me to do is when I look at the winds and I see that east-northeast, I can look at the land that I hunt on and I can determine what is a good stand for this particular time of day. Now, the wind today is shifting 20 degrees, so it's going to be coming out of the northeast. It was at 070. At 6 o'clock this morning, it changed from 070 to 050. But it's going to stay primarily out of the northeast, east-northeast all day. So down here in this weather column, it's saying that tomorrow, starting at about 02 a.m. local time, it's going to start raining somewhere in this general area of Troy, Alabama. Now, what else I can do is if I'm right in between two airports, which I am, I'm basically in between Troy to the north and Cairns Army Airfield here in Daleville. I already know that it's KOZR for their code. Translated METAR TAF, submit. And now I have the weather for Cairns for the same time period. And it's telling me east, northeast, northeast. So all of that's going to remain the same.
And it's also saying light rain in the vicinity of Cairns for the same time period again. So I know that if it's going to be raining in Troy and it's going to be raining in Cairns or Daleville, it's pretty much going to be raining on me because where I hunt is directly in between those two. But this is a really good tool to allow me to know what time of the day the wind is going to shift and what weather that wind shift is going to bring in. Altimeters are a good indicator of what is happening with any kind of front that's moving in. 3038 is fairly high pressure, and we are in a high pressure system right now. High pressure generally means clear weather. Low pressure generally means there's a storm heading your way. Fish bite a lot of the time during falling barometer, and deer start moving a lot more, according to several articles I've read, when the barometer is moving. When it's just generally low pressure, it doesn't seem to affect deer or fish. But it's that movement of the barometer that indicates a change to them, and they get more active during those time periods. All right, guys, that about covers it. It's a very quick, down and dirty thing. You go to aviationweather.gov, you type in your local airport ICU identifier, click METAR, click TAF, click translated, hit submit, and you have a 24-hour window of aviation grade weather, and it's really the best you're going to find. Aviation is very particular about weather because weather is the #1 killer of pilots and mishaps in aircraft. So we take it very seriously. It's the best weather you're ever going to find. Some other things that you may want to think about and how it could help you or affect you in the woods, other than wind and barometer and rain or any kind of significant weather like that, thunderstorms. You may want to look into solar and lunar data as in ways that it could affect you in the wild, and ways that you could utilize that, or ways that it could come up and bite you. So take that into account, research it if you'd like. But that pretty much concludes the little Weather 101 class and how it affects sportsmen. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks a lot.